Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yodha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Jayom Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivajagacharya Ashtottara Satasri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanara Vinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Prem Se Kaho Si Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shaitvaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Srila Prabhupada Ki Prabhupada Anuga Ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Nitya Gaur Premanande. All glories are simul devotees, all glories are simul devotees, all glories are simul devotees, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Guranga, all glories Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya Bhagavatir Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Hiranyakashipu, the king of the demons, chapter 2, canto 7. Shri Narada Vacha Bhratari Evam Vinihate Harina Krodha Mudina Murthina Hiranyakashipu Rajan Paryatapyat Rusha Sucha. Shri Narada Muni said, my dear King Yudhishthira, when Lord Vishnu in the form of Varaha, the boar, killed Hiranyaksha, Hiranyaksha's brother Hiranyakashipu was extremely angry and began to lament. Purport: Yudhishthira had inquired from Narada Muni why Hiranyakashipu was so envious of his own son Pralhad. Narada Muni began narrating the story by explaining how Hiranyakashipu had become a staunch enemy of Lord Vishnu. Ahachedam rusha purnaha sandashta dashanachataha kopajvaladbhyam chakshurbhyam niriksham dhumram ambaram. Filled with rage and biting his lips, Hiranyakashipu gazed at the sky with eyes that blazed in anger, making the whole sky smoky. Thus he began to speak. As usual, the demon is envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and inimical towards him. These were Hiranyakashipu's external bodily features as he considered how to kill Lord Vishnu and devastate his kingdom Vaikuntha Loka. Karaladam strogra drishtya dusprekshya bhrukuti mukha shulam udyamya sadasi danavan idam abravir exhibiting his terrible teeth, fierce glance, and frowning eyebrows, terrible to see, he took up his weapon, a trident, and thus began speaking to his associates, the assembled demons. Bho bho danavadaiteya dvimurdham styaksha sambhara shatabhaho hayagriva namuche paka ilvala viprachitte mama vachaha puloman shakunadayah shrunutanantaram sarve kriyatam ashumachiram. O Dhanavas and Daityas, O Dvimurdha, Trayaksha, Shambhara and Shatabahu, O Hayagriva, Namuchi, Paka and Ilvala, O Viprachitri, Puloma, Shakuna and other demons, all of you kindly hear me attentively and then act according to my words without delay. These are called unholy names chanting. You know holy name chanting? This is unholy name chanting. Sapatnair gaitatah kshudrair bhratame daitah suhrit parshni grahena harina samenapi upadhavanaihi. My insignificant enemies, the demigods, have combined to kill my very dear and obedient well-wisher, my brother Hiranyaksha. Although the Supreme Lord Vishnu is always equal to both of us, namely the demigods and the demons, this time being devoutly worshipped by the demigods, he has taken their side and helped them kill Hiranyaksha. Both the demons and the demigods understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be the Supreme Master, but the demigods follow the Master, whereas the demons defy him. Thus the demigods and demons are compared to the two co-wives of one husband. Each wife is Sapatni, co-wife of other, and therefore the word Sapatnaihi is used here. As stated in Bhagavad-gita 9.29, Samoham Sarva Bhuteshu, the Lord is equal to all living entities. Since the demigods and demons are both equal living entities, how is it possible that the Lord was partial to one class of living beings and opposed to another? Actually, it is not possible for the Lord to be partial. Nonetheless, since the demigods, the devotees always strictly follow the Supreme Lord's orders, because of sincerity they are victorious over the demons, who know that the Supreme Lord is Vishnu but do not follow his instructions. Because of constantly remembering the Supreme Personality of God and Vishnu, the demons generally attain Sayujya Mukti after death. The demon Hiranyaksha accused the Lord of being partial because the demigods worshipped him. But in fact, the Lord, like the government, is not partial at all. The government is not partial to any citizen. But if a citizen is law-abiding, he receives abundant opportunities from the state laws to live peacefully and fulfill his real interests. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has given up his natural tendency of equality towards the demons and demigods. Although he is the Supreme Person, now influenced by Maya, he has assumed the form of a boar to please his devotees, the demigods. Just as a restless child leans towards someone, I shall therefore sever Lord Vishnu's head from his trunk by my trident, and with the profuse blood from his body, I shall please my brother Hiranyaksha, who was so fond of sucking blood. Thus shall I too be peaceful. I particularly wanted to read this to you. Purport: the defect of the demoniac mentality is expressed in this verse very clearly. Hiranyakashipu thought that Vishnu also becomes partial, like a child whose mind is not steady or resolute. The Lord can change his mind at any time, Hiranyakashipu thought, and therefore his words and activities are like those of children. Actually, because the demons are ordinary human beings, their minds change, and being materially conditioned, they think that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is conditioned also. As the Lord says in Bhagavad-gita, Avajananti mamudha manushim tanumashritam, fools deride me when I descend in a human form. Demons always think that Vishnu can be killed. Therefore, being absorbed in thoughts of Vishnu's form to kill him, at least they have the opportunity to think of Vishnu unfavorably. Although they are not devotees, their thinking of Vishnu is effective. And thus they generally attain Sayujya Mukti. Because the demons consider the Supreme Lord an ordinary living being, they think that they can kill Lord Vishnu as one might kill an ordinary person. Another fact disclosed herein is that demons are very much fond of sucking blood. Indeed, all of them are meat eaters and blood suckers. Hiranyakashipu accused the Supreme Lord of having a restless mind like that of a small child, who can be induced to do anything if simply offered some cakes and laddus. Indirectly, this indicates the true position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who says in Bhagavad-gita, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti upahritam ashnami prayatatmanah. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a fruit, a flower, or water, I will accept it. The Lord accepts the offerings of devotees because of their transcendental love. Because they are in love with the Supreme Lord, they do not eat anything without offering it first to the Lord. The Lord does not hanker for a small leaf of flower. He has enough to eat. Indeed, He is feeding all the living entities. Nonetheless, because He is very merciful and is Bhakta Vatsala, very favorable to the devotees, He certainly eats whatever they offer Him with love and devotion. This quality should not be misjudged to be childish. Highest quality of the Supreme Lord is that He is Bhakta Vatsala. In other words, He is always extremely pleased with His devotees. As for the word Maya, when used in reference to the dealings of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His devotees, this word means affection. The actions of the Lord to favor His devotees are not disqualifications but signs of His natural affection. As for Rudhira, or the blood of Lord Vishnu, since there is no possibility of severing Lord Vishnu's head from his body, there is no question of blood. But the garland that decorates Vishnu's body is as red as blood. When the demons achieve Sayujya Mukti and leave behind their sinful activities, they are blessed by Vishnu's garland, which is red like blood. After attaining Sayujya Mukti, the demons are sometimes promoted to the Vaikuntha world, where they receive the award of Lord's garland prasada. Give me the Bhagavad-gita, please. Om Jnanati Mirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Patakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanavitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padhan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavati Paschatya Deshatarine Jayasi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. In my analysis of this whole great pastime of Lord Narsimha, we meet with many great characters, and each one of them has got something very important to teach us. First, we are introduced to the four Kumaras going to Vaikuntha, and then we are introduced to Jaya and Vijaya and Lord Narayana. Then they become Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. We are introduced to Hiranyaksha, and because of that Varahadev. Then Hiranyakashipu. And then there are Devatas in between who are desperate, and their scenes also in place. Then there is Pralhad, the pure devotee of the Lord. Then there is Narada Muni, who is instructing Pralhad. Then finally there is the Supreme Lord, Lord Narsimha Deva. All these important personalities are there. They all signify something very, very important. So we spend some time in understanding Hiranyakashipu, because all of these people and their characteristics are in some way reflected in our life also. So I call them different, to say we have our own Hiranyakashipu moments in our life. Because in Kali Yuga, it is important to know, like we discussed yesterday, that both the demon and the devotee can reside in the same personality. Lurking in the shadows is the tiny Ravana, tiny Hiranyakashipu inside. Because you are not giving encouragement, although you have an inclination. There are all sorts of combinations. Some people are openly demoniac because they are not educated in Krishna consciousness or anything, or they are disappointed with religion, or they are disappointed generally with all these type of things, and they have descended to moral ethical things. Or some people have no faith even in moral ethical things. They are vikarmis. They don't care about anything. A little above that, religious people are thoroughly confused about what is the real purpose of religion. And they worship the demigods or any god or anybody who looks like a god, or anybody who does something good for me, which is good. 1 O less than God. 1 O less than good is God. Which means you do good, you are God. You do something materially good to me, you become my God. I am willing to worship anybody, oh my God. Anybody who does something for my sense gratification. Then these are sense gratificatory people. They'll move anywhere, they get sense gratification. So shamelessly disloyal and desperately, lustily looking for some sense gratification opportunity. And I give you my worship, you are Supreme Lord, I give you my vote, I give you everything except my money and my sense gratification. Very, the world is filled with this bootlicking, low-class, sense gratificatory people. They do anything. Mass of the people. We should compromise in saying that. That's the way it is. The world is like that. Then you have the knowledgeable people who have gained knowledge about matter and spirit and liberated themselves beyond. And they remain very neutral. They neither surrender to the Lord nor get involved materially, and they enjoying their spiritual situation. This is what is the Brahmavadis. The 4 Kumaras represent that. And in between is the Supreme Lord trying to get all of these people to accept pure devotion. It's very interesting. So if you look at this whole Narsimha pastime, you'll see the Lord is engineering many things. But he is raising his hands and saying pure devotion is highest by the way he deals with and relates with Prahlad. Much to the surprise of everybody else, including Lakshmi, including all the demigods, and including all the other devatas and all the other devotees. So it is actually a pastime that shows greatly pure devotion as highest. And everybody else has got their place in it. How Narayana comes and relates with the 4 Kumaras. There he is coming directly relating the 4 Kumaras. And somebody will ask, why did Krishna himself not come for Prahlad while Narsimha came? Right? And there is, from the viewpoint of the Bhagavad, also some important message on that. In this way, you can see a whole array of personalities. We are studying right now Hiranyakashipu moment in our life. And all these people's moments are there in our life. Impersonalistic moment is also there. A devotee, a devata-like moment is there, that I want this and that. I want to be devotee plus I want sense gratification. That moments are constantly there in us. Then there is the moment of demoniac tendency. Forget it, let's go ahead and do this. I somehow like to do it. And for a moment we want to give a jab to the absolute truth also. We don't mind. So what? Type of a mode. Hiranyakashipu is like that. So I'm reading, because when we read the characteristics of demons, at least I felt, wow, I think these are my characteristics, some of these. You can find similarities. We don't have to immediately think, at least me, I don't immediately think I am devotee. I am dressed saffron and tilak and kantimala. I have to be devotee. No. The devotee is from inside out. Nowhere it is mentioned that, it's outside in. The devotee is a state of his consciousness. So if you see, Krishna is describing in the chapter 16, divine and demoniac natures. He speaks very less about divine, he speaks more about demoniac. The proportion of shlokas for describing the demon is more. Divine is first shloka. Then he tells Arjuna, don't worry, you are divine. Don't this thing. Don't be worried about it. But throughout he discusses more about demoniac. Prabhritimcha nivrittimcha janana vidurasuraha. Those who are demoniac do not know what is to be done, what is not to be done. Neither cleanliness, nor proper behavior, nor truth is found in them. Asatyam apratishtamte jagadahu renishwaram aparaspara sambhutam kimanyat kama hetukam. They say that this world is unreal with no foundation, no God in control. They say it is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than lust. Very, sutra sayings. Following such conclusions, the demoniac who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. It's happening to us now. We are experiencing that. But we won't call them demons. We don't know what to call them. We hear all the philosophies coming up in the news and this and that and everything and wonder how to make a decision. But it is very clear that this is caused by the demons. And but we hesitate to say these things because we are involved. We have a stake in this civilization. We have some investments in this civilization. And in the type of things that people do in this world, we are also involved. We go to work and the companies where we work in have investments in these type of things. And we take part in it. And we use that money. And we interact with these people. And their philosophy of life also rubs on us. And a little bit we believe in it. After all, I'm earning bread through this. How can I just denounce the whole thing? So there is a little soft patch somewhere which you don't recognize, but when you're put to the test, you recognize that you feel like, what is wrong? Then only you'll understand that I have this notion. So it's important to know, taking shelter of insatiable lust and absorbed in the conceit of pride and false prestige, the demoniac, thus illusioned, are always sworn to unclean work, attracted by the impermanent. They believe that to gratify the senses is the prime necessity of human civilization. Thus, until the end of life, their anxiety is immeasurable, bound by a network of hundreds of thousands of desires, and absorbed in lust and anger, they secure money by illegal means for sense gratification. This is the best. The demoniac person thinks, so much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more according to my schemes. So much is mine now, and it will increase in the future more and more. He is my enemy, and I have killed him, and my other enemies will also be killed. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, and happy. I am the richest man surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices. I shall give some charity. Thus I shall rejoice. In this way, such persons are deluded by ignorance. Even if I shall perform some sacrifice, I shall give some charity, and I shall rejoice. It's all part of demonic mentality to give charity also. It's very interesting to note. I'll do sacrifice also as part of demonic mentality. Why? No Krishna involved. Nothing to do with Krishna. Thus, perplexed by various anxieties and bound by a network of illusions, they become too strongly attached to sense enjoyment and fall down into hell. Self-complacent and always impudent, deluded by wealth and false prestige, they sometimes proudly perform sacrifices in name only, without following any rules or regulations. Bewildered by false ego, strength, pride, lust, anger, the demons become envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in their own bodies and in the bodies of others, and blaspheme against the real religion. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, are perpetually cast into the ocean of material existence, into various demoniac species of life. And then Krishna is warning that 3 gateways lead to this hell. What are this? Kama, Krodha, and Lobha, greed. 3 Vidam Dwaram. So you see the characteristic of the demons, and you see Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu is becoming powerful. How is he becoming powerful? He is becoming powerful by taking advantage of the Vedic literature's instructions. This is very important to know. He was not like an atheistic this thing. And Prabhupada is mentioning here, both demons and demigods accept Vishnu as master. One obeys, one doesn't obey. So Hiranyakashipu knows Vishnu is supreme, and he doesn't obey. Why? Enviousness. So in the level of Supreme Lord and personalities, also there is enviousness. Directly it's mentioned here, envious of the Supreme Lord. It's not that it is something different. So because I said that we have small droplets, because that's all we can accommodate actually. We are very small. We are not like Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu was a grand, fantastic personality, accumulated a lot of pious credit. See, you can have piety, but you need not be like Devatas. It's very interesting. You can have a lot of piety and use completely everything wrongly because you're a demon. Like both the big dacoit, thief and terrorist can have money, and the nice rich man also can have money. How they use the money make them demon or this thing. Both have money. Both have money. In the same way, both have assets of pious credit, the Devatas and the demons. How the demons use it makes them demons. Right? And both of them can acquire that pious credit by following the Vedic culture. But that pious credit does no good to the demons in terms of making them Krishna conscious. So piety is not really something very useful. Performing austerities, this thing, all, unless you are a Daiva oriented person, more of the Daiva quality in you, then the piety may land up in charity, doing good to people or something like that. But most of the rich people, they do charity only like this, to give themselves the thrill that I am doing charity. They are not really doing charity actually because charity should be done and they are suffering and out of feeling. It's very interesting distinction. Devotee is not doing charity actually. He is doing something more than charity. He is distributing the mercy of the Lord in his mind. In the minds of people who contribute to charity, some of them feelingly, I want to distribute some food to people. That is purifying. Yajnadana tapa karma pavanani manishinam. Krishna is saying, Yajna Dana Tapa. Here 3 things are gateways to hell. Yajna Dana Tapa Pavanani Manisha. Even the most elevated people should not forget to do these things. They do these things because other living entities, we should do something. Every time doing only for yourself. That is another level of charity. Rich, very rich people are doing charity because of a demoniac mentality also. Everybody will say something about me, I better give some charity. So that everybody will say, kudutama. Okay, parvala. Konchamaadu kudutama. Means he is out of the bracket of being a demon type of a fellow who does not give anything, is very selfish. Okay, he is a demon all right, but he gives charity. It's the next level. He is a demon all right, but he gives charity. Something is good about him. So Hiranyakashipu is a demon who gives charity. Sacrifice, I will give charity and I will rejoice. Piety is something very great. Most of religion is filled with, at the most, the achievement is piety. Right? That's why it's called religion. And that's why Krishna said, Sarva Dharman Parityaja. All these religion, give it up. It doesn't give you what you need really. So people are fighting about religion truly. Religious people are fighting with each other because they are religion. That's the whole point. It's meant to be like this. Even Hiranyakashipu can be religious. But that's not the original meaning of religion. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti rasokshaje. Religion is supposed to bring you devotion to the Supreme Lord. Then only it is really religion. That is why it's called paro dharma. Just the word religion doesn't mean anything very big. It's a dutiful, nice, oriented person. But what's the use of being simply dutiful? You should achieve what the duty is supposed to actually give you. I cannot just simply drive and be a good citizen by following all the rules and regulations. Turn left, no horn, school zone, go left, for 40 kilometers per hour. There is a bump ahead, go slowly. There is no right turn here, no U-turn here. All these I follow. But where are you going? I don't know. Very dutifully you follow all the rules and regulations of the traffic. Excuse me, where are you going? Chumar, I'm very busy following all the traffic rules. Don't ask me where you're going. This is religious people, fanatic religious people. So-and-so religion ki jai. Where are you going with religion? So religion is not something very great if it does not give you love of Godhead. That's why the Shastra says, Aradito yadi bhagavan tapasya tatakim. If you are worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you have come to that point. Why tapasya and all that? This itself is a tapasya. Na aradito yadi bhagavan tapasya tatakim. If you are not worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead also, what is the use of tapasya? In other words, none of these things are going to be useful if you do not worship the Supreme Lord. So you see, Hiranyakashipu, very pious, is capable of accumulating piety and becoming powerful, using the power to torture people who are inclined towards Vishnu. Inclined towards Vishnu. This is the nature. Now if you go and examine yourself about Hiranyakashipu moments in your life, I am describing this issue. We can be psychopathic. You can become completely absorbed in your so-called sadhana and become very dissatisfied that you are not getting love of Godhead. And then you can start playing the fool within that system. I shouldn't say this, it may sound a little offensive, but the idea is to say that we can get settled down and utilize the potency of the Lord wrongly under the influence of Maya without really benefiting us. Without really benefiting us. So there is something very deep inside that we have to change. The process by itself does not do the change. We have to change and Krishna has to show His mercy. And Krishna's mercy should be there. Two things. From my side, what is the endeavor? The endeavor should reach deep inside. Hiranyakashipu is endeavoring, is on the other side of the graph. He endeavors only for himself. No, never any chance of him endeavoring for Krishna. No chance. I am on the other side of the graph, the Y side. I go down deeper. I go down deeper. How? I know Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Therefore, I am a demon. You see, you can prove the existence of God by demonic activities and demonic attitudes. The fact that people deny God so heavily, although they don't know anything about God, definitely proves that there is God. To what extent they go, to what degrees they can go. So Hiranyakashipu is desiring to kill Vishnu and suck his blood. You can do that intellectually. You don't have to actually physically do it. Many of them do it. Who's God? What do you mean God? He has no form. He has no eyes, he has no nose. He's just this thing. And after saying that, they say, I can also become God. It means I will also like to become a no nose, no eyes, no personality person. You will see how this is offensive. Because it is offensive because you know about God and you are saying this. That's why it's offensive. You are trying to decimate the personality of God. You are trying to decimate the individuality of God through voice, through intellectual thing, through writing like that. Then there are persons who physically want to do that to God, like Hiranyakashipu. Desecrate the whole place. But whatever you may do, faith in the Lord is very, very subtle. For devotees, they know that Shraddha Shabde Vishwasa Kohile Sutrida Nischaya Krishna Bhakti Kohile Sarva. Faith that is built up in the Supreme Lord, that whatever you may do intellectually, physically, whatever you may do even religiously, will not be destroyed. This is the meaning of Shraddha Shabde Vishwasa Kohile Sutrida Nischaya. So sometimes we are the destroyers of our own faith, which we are building up by wrong association and by encouraging the demoniac tendency inside us. That's why inside us a huge amount of stuff is going on. All these characters are inside you only, and they're fighting one against the other. Sometimes one idea overpowers you, another times another idea overpowers you, and another. Waves. This is because we are not fixed in Krishna. Nishta is not attained. Faith, fixed faith. Till then, Prabhupada said, you'll have a lot of difficulty in sadhana. Accepted that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I have understood it by knowledge and by deliberation. And there's nothing better for me to do than to serve Him. Everything else that happens while I'm serving Him has got nothing to do with my Nishta. This is Nishta. Even though there is enough reasons to disturb the person's faith, is not disturbed. Otherwise, Komala Shraddha, a neophytish person, any small wave, any small blow, intellectually or something, will gone. And Maya does everything possible to break everybody's faith. So the devotee's faith can be seen in Prahlad. Inside a demoniac community, he is maintaining his faith. Because he is proving pure devotion can never be get affected by Mayavadism, Brahmavadism, complete atheism, demoniac mentality, religiosity of the devatas. None of these things will affect pure devotion. It is completely independent of all these things. So Prahlad only survives. All others don't survive on their own. It's only the devotee who survives because he is depending on Krishna. Right? It's very interesting to know. Comparison of a demoniac mentality. So we should recognize this demoniac mentality very well because it sweeps inside us once in a while. Shh, catch hold of you. So don't think that if you have done your sadhana very well, certain things will not happen to you. If you have done your sadhana very well, especially very dutifully, initially it is okay. But as you spend time in Krishna consciousness, if you don't up yourself in terms of surrender and expressing your devotion, then other things will start attacking you. Devotion service is dynamic. You cannot be stagnant. You must be going up. And you must do that consciously. You must do that consciously. And Krishna sends many different types of cues, hints, many different agents of his come and give you many information. This is all learning in spiritual life. And that all this will happen when you apply yourself to devotion service. Then only all these things will rise against you, and things you'll start thinking. If you remain dormant and inactive and comfortable in your position, you cannot exercise yourself spiritually. You see, Arjuna's example is that he was very actively engaged in Krishna's service, willing to kill people, because that's the direction of Krishna. I'm engaged, and in the process he faces many things. His son Abhimanyu dies, killed unfairly in the battlefield. Ashwatthama goes and kills all the children of the Pandavas. Then many other anomalies inside. Then he has to fight with Bhishma, and he finds it extremely difficult to fight with Bhishma. Then he is asked to kill Karna, and he is told later that he is your brother. And so many things happened to him. It's not that he said, no, I surrendered to you when you spoke Bhagavad-gita, but all sorts of things are happening afterwards. These things you did not tell me. When you showed the Vishwarupa also, it was okay. But life afterwards has been worse than the Vishwarupa. I showed you Ghora Rupam, you stop and show me your other form. Now you have shown me all sorts of things in my own experience that I cannot balance this with your Bhagavad-gita. Didn't say it. Because he has understood the Bhagavad-gita correctly. He understood the Bhagavad-gita correctly. So, a devotee means he has to do a lot of task management inside and constantly be vigilantly thinking, what am I doing, why am I doing? This is what Pralhad was doing. Although he's a 5-year-old boy, he was a very mature devotee. He's like a 1,000-year-old devotee or 10,000-year-old devotee in terms of his maturity in Bhakti. But body is 5 years old. This is the amazing thing. Bhakti pours out like, the only thing you can talk about Prahlad is his devotion. You don't talk about his height, his looks, his not that. Just like Shukadeva Goswami, the 16-year-old naked boy. You can if you want to describe him physically, if anybody does not know anything about Bhakti, devotion, religion, they'll say, the story about the 16-year-old naked boy who came to speak, this is what they will refer to. That's all they will see. You will see externally only a 16-year-old naked boy with long hair looking pretty beautiful and nice. It all depends on how you see, what you know, how much you can see. Pashyanapi pashyati na mudo. Shankaracharya said the fools, they are seeing but they have no vision. They have no vision. So in all these things, our own realization in Krishna consciousness gives us depth of vision when you look at something. And if you have not expended yourself in serving Krishna like that, like Arjuna did, or this thing, that depth will not come to you. And if you have expended yourself only in sense gratification, that depth will come to you. Like Hiranyakashipu's depth is, I want to kill Vishnu and suck his blood. He has come to that level. Because he has progressed from the opposite direction. Right? So demoniac mentality, present although infinitesimally small, or a little bigger in different places, different situations, we should not allow it to damage our religiosity, damage our understanding, our piety. All these things are required, although they are not spiritual. We can use all of them in furthering our service to Krishna. So Hiranyakashipu is a case in point. It's a very good case study. Right? Don't dismiss him thinking that has got nothing to do with me. He's directly opposite. He's a demon, I'm a devotee. May not be so easy to dismiss it. Right? There are some Hiranyakashipu moments in everybody's life. Otherwise, why are we here? Shastra very clearly says you are here because of envy of the Lord. This is a statement Prabhupada makes. So do you have some amount of Hiranyakashipu in you or not? Definitely. It is not fanned now. It is a dying flame, embers. If you fan it, it may come roar with fire. But in this situation, it is not able to actually, inside the Hare Krishna movement and so many devotees and so many things, suppressing it. So, as individuals, spirit souls, we have to audit and find out, what do you want? Who are you and what do you want? This deep question we must ask ourselves. Do you believe Jivera Swarupuhoi Krishnera Nityadas? Have you got a full understanding of that? Then only from that title of being Krishnadasa only, the job description will flow. Then only you will feel, therefore I must do this. If you don't deeply feel that, you will do many things, but it will not be fully connected. You got to deeply feel, I am a servant. Hiranyakashipu is deeply feeling enviousness against the Supreme Lord. Feeling of servitorship is the right opposite, 180 degrees, to enviousness. Enviousness means I want to occupy your position and enjoy what you are enjoying. Servitorship means I don't want anything like that. I want to serve you in your position. I'm not asking for anything. So we are trying to be devotees, service mode. And the Hiranyakashipu mode is directly opposite to it. Right? So we should find the little Hiranyakashipu scurrying around inside. Kill him like a mosquito with the strength of devotional service. Mosquito, can be easily killed. But to catch him is very difficult. His aeronautical, expertise is tremendous. If you catch him like this, you always miss mosquitoes. Very rarely you will hit him somewhere. Caught him somewhere in the tip of the... You caught him like this, but you will hit him here. He's almost escaped. Mostly when you kill him also, he's almost escaped only. You'll never rarely get him right in the center of your hand. Difficult to catch a mosquito. So that tiny demoniac tendencies, sit down and get up and bite you a little bit here, and it's still around, buzzing around. So you got to catch hold of that with bhakti. This is the meaning of Narsimha coming in, catching hold of Hiranyakashipu, pulling him down. It's mentioned he is flying around. He was flying around. There was a big mosquito, real huge. And Hiranyakashipu caught him. And like an insect, Dalita Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu is described as an insect. Tanu Bringam. And he dissected him. Actually cut this thing and took out his intestines and put it around his neck. This is the way we should kill the demon inside. You should make sure you spot him. He is buzzing around. You should catch him with the devotion and actually do the vivisection necessary and make sure he is dead. Take out the intestines and put it around your neck to make sure he is dead. And then you can push him. There's no chance of surviving again if the intestine is out and around your neck. Make sure the demon is dead. Right? This is the internal force we should locate. For that we need to be very closely associated with devotees, closely discussing the movements of your mind, intelligence, and what we are thinking as spirit souls, where are we going? Analyzing the Hiranyakashipu mentality. Aham Ishvaro, Aham Bhogi. I am the Lord, I am the controller. I am the enjoyer. Krishna is saying, Bhoktaram Yajnatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. I am the enjoyer of all sacrifice, and the demon thinks not you, me. Aham Ishvaro, Aham Bhogi. Balavan Sukhi. I am very strong and I am happy. Demons have to keep telling this to themselves because it's not the truth. They had hyped themselves by saying this. But a devotee is naturally situated because it is his constitutional position. The Atma's position as a demon is very unnatural position, very unstable and full of miserable experiences, anxieties and everything, because it's so unnatural. You can see that Hiranyakashipu is so unnatural. He gets angry with the sun, he tries to kill his son, then he, takes all the demigods and puts them like this. Everything he does is unnatural. And he seems always agitated, full of pride, anger, greed. All these things rule you. And then you think this is normal. You think this is normal. So on the other side is devotee and service. We must be very convinced of these things. And you must watch very closely how you are moving, what thoughts are coming, and what instructions you are getting, how you are moving, in order for us to spot these things. So these characters are all very important for us in our devotional life. Not to say that we are like demons. No, we are devotees, definitely. We believe in the holy name, we believe in the Bhagavatam, we believe in association, we believe in prasadam. If nothing, at least we definitely believe in prasadam. We believe in the, instructions given by Krishna in the Bhagavad-gita and the Bhagavatam. And these are all, nicely fixed. But still, in order to achieve pure devotion, we need to weed out even the last traces. Because mixed devotion, which we shall discuss tomorrow, mixed devotion is a great problem. Like the demigods. Right? It's a great problem. And there are varieties of mixed devotion. And it may pass off as devotion, pure devotion within us. And we may settle for mixed devotion without aspiring for pure devotion. That's the difference between the demigods and Pralhad. Om Tat Sat. Srila Prabhupada ki. Yeah, something?
Maharaj, we were discussing about faith in the previous classes. Shall I ask questions related to that? Regarding prayers, we were discussing very nicely that you must have faith, and from the level you are, you have to offer your prayers. So we pray to Lord. After praying, we sincerely pray. Then after we do those things, completely our mood also gets changed and again back to the normal, okay.
So what do you expect?
I want to make myself the prayer and faith to be always.
So you have to work for it. You cannot just complain that, pray immediate. That is what you are. Why don't you accept what you are? Then you can accept what I want to be and then move towards it. Don't complain about what you are, because you are the reason for it. Yeah. Whom are you complaining to? Just now I prayed and then immediately this. What is the use of prayer? No. Prayer only is helping you to understand that you are like this. Otherwise, you will never even know. Neither prayer you will know and neither will you know you are like this. Look at that situation. Okay, forget it. Don't pray, I'll tell you. Say, don't pray. It's not working for you. What will you do? Next, other altar, what will you do? So, please understand that don't become morose as soon as you discover it is like that. You accept it. This is what I am. Let me work it up. Then your prayer will come again sincerely, because you have recognized your situation. That's why you see the prayer of all great people. I am like this. They describe their situation. They describe their situation. You see, your Supreme Lord like this. Then in all the prayers you'll see, I am useless. I am like this. I am this. That is the meaning of prayer. I mean, you recognized this situation and you recognize the Lord, only you can do something for me, if you have your mercy on me. Then only you will pray. If you still continue to think, why it is happening like this? I am supposed to be a pure devotee. I don't see the halo on the head in the mirror. Very bad. I've been chanting for so many years. No chakra on my head. I don't like this. This is not good. Krishna, please note. I'm slowly losing your faith. Very bad for you. You lose people if you do like this. This is, you want in your Krishna conscious movement, lot of people means you do the needful. Show some mercy. Otherwise, how people will stay? They'll go to Maya. That's all. I don't know. This is the attitude we have. As though it's not my responsibility to worry about my consciousness and my level of consciousness, which is induced by my own illicit desires. And I want to keep stroking those desires, massage it, and tell Krishna this. Examine it. See, that's what's happening. We are all same people only. Don't think only for you. Everybody like that only. All in the same boat. Therefore, better discuss it openly. Alright? I wish you all the best.